So today we're going to be taking a look at what I believe are the best comps for each map in Valorant. But before we do that, we just need to very quickly define something, and that is high ceiling versus high floor comps. Okay, so a high ceiling comp is basically the best comp that can be played at the highest level. That would be unbeatable, right? The ceiling is through the roof, and you can't beat that comp when being played at its very highest level. But a high floor comp is a comp that basically any team could just randomly pick up and still do pretty well with, because, you know, it's just maybe pretty straightforward. The agents just, you know, fit the map that you're on, right? It doesn't take much to work out how the comp might need to be used. And those are the comps that really we're going to be focusing on today. They're mostly going to be what I would call high floor comps, you know, that really most teams could probably pick up and use pretty well, because I think also that'll be helpful for you if you want to use them in your games as well. So for instance, the Paper X Yoru bind comp is a very high ceiling comp, but also has a very low floor, right? So we saw that Paper X have destroyed teams with that comp on bind, but they also got destroyed by FPX themselves on bind. And for instance, if someone else picked up their comp and tried to play it, you know, they might struggle majorly with that comp because, you know, it's very difficult to play and it has a very unique playstyle. So we won't be focusing on comps like that. We'll be focusing mainly on high floor comps, where really anyone could pick up and do pretty well. And so let's begin with Ascent. And you can see that the comp that I have here for Ascent is Fade, KO, Astra, Chamber, and Raze. And we saw quite a few teams at Copenhagen run this comp, as we'll get into in a second. And on the left hand side here, you just have, this is my stats from actually before Masters Copenhagen. So the actual data from Masters Copenhagen isn't in these stats, but it gives you a sense of the qualifying. So 10 games of this comp were played before Masters Copenhagen, and 7 out of 10 were won. And you can see a pretty healthy round win percentage as well of 57, you know, nearly 58%, which is pretty good for any comp to have. So why is this comp good? Well, we're going to take a look at Paper X versus Fnatic to find out. And we're going to take a look at round number 10 of this map. So we've got Paper X on the attack here, and the first thing that this comp really gives you, I think, is plenty of ways to progress up the map, particularly on the attacking side. It's quite easy to take quite a bit of space with this comp, right? Because we're going to see Boombot in here, and we're going to take early B main control, and then we're going to prowl it into mid, clear that close mid area, get a smoke off here towards the short side of mid, as you can see, and Forsaken is able to jiggle peek here and take the space that is available to him in mid. But we're going to see in this round, I think, one of the main real winners of this comp and why this comp can work. As we see, the Fade ult comes in onto the B site, and what we're going to see is that tags 2 people, so that tells them that, you know, they're probably all around there. We get Jing popping his Raze ult, and in they start to come. We get a nice Fade haunt coming in from Enzo in response, but in they start to come, right? And this is really a crucial thing about this comp, I think, is that there are quite a few comps on this map that can, you know, get through this choke point and manage to get onto B, but then can struggle to actually penetrate deep into the site. If, like Fnatic have done here, you get like 2 people, you know, hiding deep towards the site. A lot of comps can struggle with this and you know, find it difficult to kind of penetrate through that, but not this comp, right? Because you have the Siege, you have the KO nade, you have the Raze nade, which I think is crucial for that as well, to clear out these areas, as you will see in this example here. In this instance, what's going to happen is the lurking KO here is going to manage to find Boaster coming through that smoke and trying to come behind, and we're going to get kills here on the site as Jing pops his ult and actually misses, but then they are going to manage to find these kills. As you see, the nade is going to come in here towards Althea, and this just becomes a big problem, right? And this is what I mean, that, you know, Paper X in this instance didn't really have too much problems actually penetrating deep onto this B side, even though there's a Sage wall across this other side of it, right? That normally would be, again, a pretty big problem if, you know, these 2 defenders can just look in this way. But the thing is, because you've got that deep control, because you've got that mid control coming in as well, even though Forsaken has died, he's caused that threat to Althea, who, even if Jing didn't get that kill, was going to die to the nade anyway. They get the spike down, and this is what this comp is good at. And obviously on the defensive side, you have more than enough information, right? You've got Astra sucks, you've obviously got the Chamber coming in big on the defensive side, you would hope as well, as we see they are going to mop up these final couple kills. But yeah, you have plenty of great options on the defensive side as well, obviously Season 8 combos and the like, and so I think that this comp is just, again, is it the highest ceiling comp on this map? I don't think so, but I definitely think it is the highest floor comp, that really you can do a lot. You can pressure all sides of the map on the attacking side, and defensively you should have enough information and enough ways to hold down sites as well. Moving on to Bind, and for Bind, I've just stuck with actually what is the most played comp on Bind, which is Viper, Sky, Brim, Chamber, and Raze. And we saw, again, a lot of this comp in Masters Copenhagen, and this comp just works. It's actually one of the few occasions that, you know, the most popular comp is actually one of the highest win rate comps as well. You can see that the win rate is extremely good. The round win rate is extremely healthy as well. And this comp, I think, just works. It just makes sense, particularly on the defensive side. And let's take a look at Optic defending with this comp to find out why. And so let's come to round number 3 here of Paper Rex versus Optic. And what we're going to start off is with an early boombot down here. We're also going to get some presence towards here. As you see, the Sky Flash goes off and will have gone off. The Fade Prowler comes up. Crashies kills it there. And this is actually Optic's bonus, although they have gone for an aggressive bonus. But then we get the dog out, right? Yay is actually TP'd across, but the dog doesn't see anything. So they get the early idea that perhaps they're coming towards this A site instead, and that this pressure was a bit more of a fake. So they send out the boombot and see that, yes, it gets shot pretty quick. So that means that Yay quickly is scampering over to try and help out. But here's the thing with this comp, right? That even though we don't have as good of a buy as the side of Paper Rex do, there's just a lot of delay, right? There's just so many different options you have. And you see even Benkai there, he taps the spike. He doesn't want to actually plant the spike, even though they have, you know, he's on site and he could be ready to plant, because he knows there's going to be some reaction, because this comp just has so many different ways of stopping you, particularly if you don't have shower control like we see here, because Morphed is there, right? So he actually taps the spike waiting for this nade. But again, this kind of delay is just there all the time, right? And so the nade comes out. They actually send a Prowler to try and help them plant this time, to send a Prowler towards the Raze. But you can see we've got all 4 of the 5 players of Optic are now here on this site, you know, ready to fight it out as the spike is trying to go down. And this is what this comp is good at, right? It's just insanely good at delaying. You get the early info, which they did, to try and get 3 across to the correct side. And now we actually see that Marv swings from shower and actually kills Benkai as he's trying to plant the spike. Again, if you don't have that showers control, this comp will destroy you. Yay manages to get a kill from heaven. Actually, then Mind Freak does manage to find Marv trying to push the other side of shower. But now the thing is, so much delay has been caused that Crashies has managed to rotate from B, the second person to rotate, and now look at where he is. He's managed to come all the way up into walking in through here, and he manages to get 1 for free again there. We actually have to pop the Brimmel, but again, even that isn't enough. Now we're just going to see a bit of Yay magic because it's Yay, but you get the idea overall that this wasn't a full buy, but Optic managed to you know, win this round with 2 people still alive, and really it's because this comp is very, very good, particularly on the defensive side, in just having massive amounts of delay. Now let's come to Breeze, where I've gone for, unfortunately, not the Paper Rex Grand Final comp. I've gone for something much more normal of Viper, Sky, Sova, Chamber, and Jet. The reason I've gone for this comp over, say, the KO version of this comp, where you swap the Sky for the KO, is because I do think that Sky gives you a higher floor overall. I think that the extra information that Sky provides on such a big map can be particularly useful for, you know, most teams. And whilst KO might have a higher ceiling in certain ways in terms of playing the KO, I think that for most teams, Sky would be the better option overall because of that extra information gathering on such a big map where the rotates are going to take a long time will be very useful. You can see that the win rate and round win rates are also very good. And so for this, we're going to take a look at Mech versus BBL in the MEA qualifiers and take a look at this round here, round number 6, where Mech are on the defensive side. And you can see early on, we actually have 3 people towards this B side. But what we're going to do is we're going to dog down here early, and that's obviously going to see no one. And so that's going to allow these rotates to come in pretty quick. And you can see, even though it is a bit of a stack here from BBL, they are going to get delayed here as they send in the KO knife. Here comes the dog from the Sky, sees absolutely no one. The Viper straight away starts to come across, right, and check the other side of mid. Up goes this Viper wall here, and so you can see the Sky is already kind of on the way. The Seekers get sent out. They see that obviously those Seekers are all coming towards A as well, and so the rotates start to come in. Now what we've got here is actually a KO ult and the Sova drone being popped on Chronicle as well here, so he's in some trouble, but we're about to see a great bit of utility from the Sova as Redgar has put down this dart, and this dart is absolutely insanely good at this moment in time because it completely stops BBL from getting through this choke point. As you see, multiple of them, as they try and come through, get hit by the dart, and so they have to retreat. And that means that if you take a look at the map, pretty much all of Mech are ready to be here now, you know, by the time this comes down. And actually, they don't have enough fuel for the wall, so now BBL gets stuck behind the choke point again and have to wait. So all of mech are here, but then, we get this delay, so they actually start to worry that, they have given up some control and potential lurkers could have created some problems for them. So you see that they do try and react to that and send the jet back across. But now BBL are ready to hit this site again. They send up this Viper wall here, but you can see the red guy, he actually tries to TP away, but doesn't realize he hasn't put down a second site anchor yet. And that's just spamming through the smoke. But now everyone's here, right? Now, it's too late for BBL at this point, right? They're even going to pop a Viper's Pit as well, but it's too late. There's already too many people here. The initial push has just been completely stopped. And even though they will find the next 2 kills, ultimately it isn't quite enough as Mech are able to finish this off with Chronicle killing aim DLL there, sorry, and ultimately they will get this last kill. And I think that, there you see like part of the reason that Sky, I think, is just maybe a bit better than KO, giving you that information pretty early on, allowing you to rotate pretty quickly, and a great silver dot. We stop the site execute, and then we're just ready to mop up. Now let's come to perhaps the spiciest one, which is Fracture, because I would say that the best 2 Fracture teams in the world are DRX and FPX, which they kind of showed at Masters Copenhagen. And, well, neither of those teams runs Breach on Fracture. So I am going to go with a non-Breach comp. I'm going to go with DRX's comp here, which is Fade, KO, Brim, Chamber, and Neon. Now, this is like the Optic comp, but just swapping the Fade for the Breach. And you can see it has a very small sample size because basically only DRX were running this comp. But I do think that this comp is just better than the Breach alternative, and one key reason is that the Fade allows you to find where this chamber is, and obviously we are in a chamber meta, and so the Fade is just going to allow you to make sure that the chamber doesn't dominate the game and completely destroy you, which has happened to a lot of teams on this map. And so let's come to round 12, DRX versus FPX. This is actually the first time that these teams played, not the second time, at Copenhagen, and we'll see that, they're just able to push Artis off and stop him from having a big impact in this round, even though he has an op. So you see, they push him off that first angle with the Neon Stun, they send the Prowler to make sure he can't re-aggress, and they do push him all the way back, and that gets Zest this ult orb, as you can see just there. Now, if we run this round a bit faster forward, what we're going to see is that they got stopped by this one way here, so they feel like, they can't really do this, and a Prowler is going to come down here, as you see, but it doesn't see Mako, so they feel like, okay, our time to come to B is probably here, right? We haven't been spotted by this Prowler. They're probably going to leave 3 on A, which they have right now, right? But they're just going to leave Artis to watch A main, as you see here, and they initially start to come back towards B, but perhaps feeling that the time had kind of surpassed to come to B, they decide to come to A instead, which you can see is a very good decision because Angel is rotating at that exact moment. But they are going to come in towards this A site instead, as you see, and here is what I'm talking about, basically, that this comp I think is just better at dealing with chambers than other comps are. And so you see the Fade ult is going to come in. That obviously means that Artis is blind. The KO ult is going to come in as well, which stops him TPing away, and then you've got just RB skipping around all the time, and so now Artis misses his shot and actually dies there. Sorry, I'm running that a bit fast, but as RB goes super speed, and now you've dealt with a massive threat, right? You've dealt with the chamber up, and so that is just a major difficulty gone. Zipan actually does manage to get 1 kill there, but it gets traded out as Stacks managed to find Angel. They get the spike down, and they've actually left Buzz all the way behind, just ready to get a free kill there, pretty much. Mako finds Cider. We end up with Xiao in a 1v4, and although Xiao is very good, as we saw in these situations, this one he's not going to quite manage to win as he gets flashed, and Buzz now is going to do something pretty funny as he's going to throw his gun down and then manage to kill Xiao at the very end there. But yeah, I think that this comp basically is just a bit superior because you get that better information of where that chamber is and, can shut that chamber down. And now let's come to Haven, and the comp I've gone for here is Fade, Breach, Astra, Chamber, and Raze. And obviously these agents just have a ton of combo potential, right? I mean, you can combo almost everything, it feels like, with a Raze nade in this comp, right? A Seize, a Stun, an Astra Suck, the Chamber Trap, it all just combos together really nicely, and you can do it at different times and find, different ways of using it, essentially. And I think that this comp just works very well for this map overall, and the stats, as you can see on the left, bear that out as well. We've seen teams run this comp with Omen instead of Astra. Personally, I think that is straight trolling because you're just losing a lot of that combo potential, and the stats agree with me on that because the Astra version of this comp does a lot better than the Omen version. And for this one, we're going to come to Ghost Gaming versus NRG. Ghost were one of the first teams I saw run this comp and were very effective at doing so, which is no surprise because it's a very good comp. But let's take a look at how they play this round. They're on the attacking side here against NRG. And so they start off actually with this Fade Prowler down here, which locks onto this breach and pushes them back. And you see that actually brings in the rotate here from the Yoru, and what we're going to see now is they're now going to prowl the garage as they want to go for this C hit. So they get this early rotate here thinking that it might be a B hit, but actually in they come towards the C doing a C split. And what we're going to see now is we've got a little survival smoke here on the site from NRG. They try and send in their own utility, right? But the breach stun comes in from deep, and we're actually going to get here the boom bot. The nade's going to come into the smoke as well, expecting someone might play into it, and then we get the C's as well, right? So really, really nice from Ghost overall. The boombot goes off, the nade goes off, and Hazed is absolutely doomed as he gets seized as well. Really nice combo potential right there. Then what we're going to see is actually that, you know, they do start to lose a couple fights. As you see, EU managed to get one there, and some, I think, are going to manage to find Junk QT as well. But now they're deep in onto the site. We're going to get a really nice breach flash onto the main pillar of the box here as they start to come in from the different sides of these boxes. There's the blind Yoru, and we end up in a 3v1. And again, we see some of the combo potential, right? Again, you have some very good space taking abilities with the boombot and the prowlers, and then, you know, once you can come in onto site, you have some very good tools as well with the C's, the sucks, the stuns from the breach, the raised nade. There's a lot of stuff that you can really apply a lot of pressure onto site with. And finally, let's come to Icebox. And obviously for Icebox, I'm picking the G2 comp. I think that this comp just gives you a lot of options overall. You do have to play it in a specific way, I suppose, because obviously it is a very extreme comp, but I think it suits the map better than any other comp. And I think, you know, as long as you learn the kind of basics of how to play the comp, then you will find a lot of success. Obviously, defensively, you're not going to have a better comp than this, but on the attacking side, this comp can thrive as well if you are willing to play it the right way and understand Icebox at all. And so for our clip here, we're going to take a look at Fnatic against FBX in the EMEA Grand Final on Icebox, where we actually had a G2 comp mirror. But I just want to take a look at how Fnatic are going to attack this map, okay? Because it starts off very slow. They put this Killjoy turret here, they put a dart here. And this is really what this comp is about. It's about slowly taking that control, right? Because actually these players now on A are just going to pause there, right? You get Boaster just jump peeking this B angle as well to see if people are there, which have a jump peek from both sides here. But it's just a pause, right? And really it's a pause because you want to wait for that Sova dart again, because that's your only initiation tool. So, you know, they dart, slowly take the space that they've darted, wait, dart again, slowly take that space, right? And whilst they're waiting for this, Boaster is actually going to go up mid and destroy what he suspects is probably a chamber trap or an alarm bot or something, because, you know, they're playing against the G2 comp as well. And so there is a chamber trap in there. So he goes and destroys that, creates a bit of a diversion, right? Creates a bit of a distraction. A Sova dart's going to come in here to make sure that no one is pushing with that. Oh, you see that the Sage and the Sova here are kind of worried that someone might be there. But actually, as you can see, the rest of Fnatic are grouped up towards A. And what we're going to get now is the drone coming out from Enzo very deep, because, you know, they've slowly walked up as a group. And so in comes the drone. That's going to push Angel on the Killjoy back from his position there. So you see they start to come in. And now we get the second dart and a Killjoy lockdown, right? So now, again, now that they're ready to come in, we get second dart, we get the G2 wall across here. Again, everything is just about taking like little inches of space, right? That's all this comp is about on the attacking side. And if you're patient enough, it will work for you very well, because once the spike goes down, it often will be GG. So Alfie actually gets caught in a bit of a situation there, having to push as he gets hit by this overall. We have a Viper's Pit, and now we have the Defender's Killjoy lockdown as well. And normally against most comps, you know, this Killjoy lockdown would be an absolute death sentence for a lot of comps, but not the G2 comp, because Durka manages to get a kill there with his ult, so that slows them down as well. You have a Viper Molly on the spike there from Boaster as well, so that's slowing them down also. We end up in this 4v2. The Viper Pit does fall, but you see we get the Sova dart right on the spike as well, so they still can't defuse. So Getsu eventually has to just peek into 4 people, and eventually this will just be a save from Artist with the op, as Fnatic managed to take this round. And this really was just, yeah, I mean, this is how the comp works, right? Very slow coming up to the site and then ultimately winning the round. And then finally, let's come to Pearl, and unfortunately, I don't quite have all the answers for this one. I know that Viper and Chamber will be very good on this map, but everything else I think is still very much up for debate. So honestly, I don't know, but I hope you enjoyed the video. Go and check out my Twitter, Twitch, Discord channel. All of it is in the description if you want. But yeah, with that, thank you so much for watching and have a really nice day.